Dear children, welcome back to our English class. Shall we learn the third unit now? Come, let's go to our third prose in celebration of being alive, which was written by Christian Neethling Bernard. He was born in rural South Africa in 1922. Bernard performed the world's first human-to-human heart transplant in the year 1967. He gained worldwide recognition and went on to develop many surgery techniques which are being adapted till date. We are going to learn an interesting fact in this lesson. How Dr. Bernard learned a profound lesson from the two children. One day, the author and his wife met with an accident, unfortunately. When he was hospitalized, he experienced not only agony and fear but also anger. Several years ago, one morning, Dr. Bernard witnessed an incident at Cape Town's Red Cross Children's Hospital. That incident made him realize that he was missing something in all his thinking about suffering. One day, a nurse left a breakfast trolley unattended. So, two children who were patients took charge of the trolley. One was blind and the other was crippled. The former played a role of a driver and the latter played that of a mechanic. The mechanic, who was 7 years old, was admitted in the hospital as he had serious burns on the upper part of his body and nearly he had lost both eyes. The driver had a harmful tumor and so his shoulder and arms were cut off. So these two children taught Dr. Bernard a profound lesson that the business of living is in the celebration of being alive, but not for just something for pleasure, amusement and recreation. They made it clear that being alive is more important than the sufferings they are experiencing. The confidence of the two boys made the doctor realize the real meaning of life. This incident helped Dr. Bernard perceive a new dimension of life. Thus, Dr. Bernard learned a great lesson through the two boys that the business of living is the celebration of being alive. Shall we revise the third poem now? The third poem is All the World's a Stage, which was written by William Shakespeare. The different stages of man is excellently narrated in the poem All the World's a Stage. Shakespeare considers the whole world as a stage, where men and women are only actors. They enter the stage when they are born and exit when they die. Every man during his lifetime plays 7 roles based on age. In the first act, as an infant, he is wholly dependent on the mother or a nurse. Later, emerging as a school child, he creeps most reluctantly to school. The next act is that of a lover who is ever busy on composing ballads for his lover and yearns for her attention. In the fourth stage, he is aggressive and ambitious and seeks reputation in all that he does. In the fifth stage, he promises solemnly to guard his country and becomes a soldier. As he grows older with maturity and wisdom, he becomes a fair judge. During this stage, he is firm and serious. In the sixth act, he is seen with loose pantaloons and spectacles. His manly voice changes into childish treble, that is voice. The last scene of all is his second childhood. Slowly, he loses his faculties of sight, hearing, smell and taste and exits from the roles of his life. The poem All the World's a Stage is a wonderful presentation signifying the life cycle of a human being and highlights the philosophy of life. Now it's time to revise the third supplementary reader, The Hour of Truth, which was written by an American author, Percival Wilde. We are going to learn the real meaning of the proverb, honesty is the best policy, through this story. Mr. Baldwin was an honest and upright man working under John Curzon in a bank. Curzon and Baldwin had been thick friends for over 30 years, and Baldwin had even named his son after Curzon. Baldwin, who returned home after meeting Curzon, informed his family that Curzon had offered 100,000 if he would utter the words, "I don't remember," in court during the trial. Curzon had been arrested for misappropriation of money at the bank, and Baldwin was to testify against him. The family members tried to justify Curzon's act and enticed Baldwin into accepting the money. Baldwin felt disgust with himself and the attitude of his family members. To save Baldwin, Mr. Marshall, president of the Third National, visited him and informed him that Curzon had confessed his crime in order to free his trusted friend. And also, Mr. Marshall offered Baldwin a job in his bank to reward him for his honesty and integrity. Thus, the hour of truth had dawned, relieving Baldwin of the heavy burden and guilt. Dear children, honesty will ever pay a good reward in our life. My dear children, successfully we have revised all the 3 units. I hope so you have learnt clearly. Now it's your turn to revise the lexical competencies, grammatical competencies and writing competencies clearly. Though you had learnt all these competencies in 11th standard, kindly revise the 12th standard portion clearly. Dear children, concentrate more on book task exercises in order to get full mark in objectives. Especially learn prose glossaries for synonyms and antonyms purpose and poem glossaries for the appreciation question purpose. As we have limited grammatical competencies such as tenses, speech, degrees of comparison, begin with inversion, modals, learn all these grammatical parts with great care and work out the book exercises one time. Dear children, kindly re-revise 3 marks and 5 marks writing competencies one time without fail. 3 more competencies are pie chart, describing the process, proverb fill-ups, dialogue writing, email writing, notice writing, so on. The 5 mark competencies are respond to the advertisement, note making and summary writing, letter writing, general paragraph, semantic network, passage comprehension and poem comprehension. Dear children, the first impression is the best impression. So, strive hard to get the first mark in our subject. All the best, children. Thank you.